Welcome everyone. Today is Tuesday, June 13th, 2023, and this is a regular meeting of the City of Asbury Park's Zoning Board of Adjustments. Chairman, would you please call this meeting to order?
I'd be happy to. Thank you, Marie. This meeting is being held in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the Coaster and Asbury Park Press by publication of the annual meeting notice and posted on the municipal bulletin board and municipal website. All notices are on file with the board's secretary. Official action may be taken on the following matters before this board. Fire exits are located on the east and west sides of the council chambers as well as the back of the building. And I ask everyone with a cell phone to please mute it for the duration of this meeting. And this meeting is being recorded by APTV. Please roll call, Marie.
Wendy Glassman. Absent. Daniel Harris.
Here.
Russell Lewis.
Here.
Jill Potter.
Here.
Tim Slick is absent. Jose Alcaraz.
Here.
Vice Chair John Scully.
Here.
And Chairman Christopher Avalone.
Here. All right, so we have just a little bit of housekeeping, right? I'll make a motion to approve or adopt, rather, the resolution of 1201 First Avenue, the Tucker Williams application.
A second.
I'll second.
Oh.
Go ahead, John.
A second.
Okay. Daniel Harris.
Yes.
Russell Lewis.
Yes.
Jill Potter.
Yes.
Jose Alcaraz.
Yes.
Vice Chair John Scully.
Yes.
And Chairman Avalone.
Yes. All right, so Mr. Steinberg, welcome back.
Yes,
it's been quite a while.
Thank you.
I guess we're going to start off with your first application since...
If I may,
Sure.
I would request that we just switch.
Oh.
I spoke to the other attorney who was handling the second application.
Are you sure there was no dispute with the other attorney?
We're waiting for our architect.
Oh.
The application is on his way in the car, so if we could take the 1109 and a half Fifth Avenue first.
That is easy enough, yes, of course. Since you have both applications, Mr. Steinberg, I'm going to say a maximum of an hour and a half for each one to give each applicant enough time.
That's fine.
Okay.
Sure.
Please proceed.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Steinberg, on behalf of Angelica Aristone, who is the applicant for 1109 and a half Fifth Avenue, Asbury Park. We're doing an addition to the rear and adding a deck and changing the location of the outdoor shower, which requires the variance for the rear. If I could introduce and have my architect sworn.
Please.
Sir, please raise your right hand. You swear to testify about to give this matter with the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Please state your name for the record and spell it.
My name is Vincent Minkler, M-I-N-K-L-E-R.
Thank you.
Mr. Minkler, could you give us your credentials, please?
Sure, I'm a licensed architect in the state of New Jersey. I've been so since 2015. I have presented before the board here previously as well.
And you've testified in front of other boards?
Yes.
And
Yes.
any courts?
No courts, just boards.
Approximately how many?
7.
Okay, in the state of Jersey.
Yes, in the state.
We accept your credentials. Thank you, Mr. Minkler.
An expert in your field.
Yeah.
Right. You helped Ms. Aristone redesign her addition. Can you walk the board through it?
Sure. So for the addition,
Would this be A1?
Well, we said give you the plan.
Before you start, this is an unusual number to me, 1109 and a half. Was this originally like a carriage house or something before it was? No? It was always a house.
the best of my knowledge.
Let me get to the staff. I know the answer, but I'm going to let you. Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear testimony about giving this matter with the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please state your names for the record and your affiliation with the board.
Donna Miller, board planner.
Doug Llewellyn, board engineer.
Thank you. Well done.
No, you have the answer.
I recall, when you go west on Fifth Avenue, because I grew up on Fifth Avenue, when you get up past the old Fish's Baking Company, down past, it's Comstock in that area, a lot of the houses, at least on the north side, had back houses. They there were 2 houses on one property, a lot of them, 'cause, people that I went to grammar school with lived over there, and they had shared driveways and the like, so this could possibly be that type of
Yep.
application.
Yeah, we believe that at one point there was a back house which was taken down, and there was a subdivision. Which we created.
So there was a subdivision at one time?
We're assuming.
It seems so, because the lots are exactly 25 feet, or it's a 50-foot zone, so.
So actually, I pulled the subdivision plan for
Okay.
this. Because I was curious too. The lot pattern in this block is a little on the weirder side, even for Asbury. But it looks like, yeah, they're 2 sister houses.
I mean, to
that
call it
share the
1109 and a
driveway.
half.
So it's 2 sister houses, they share the driveway in between. And then, like, the lot to the left is a normal 50-foot wide, and it's a different style, the stucco, sort of craftsman-y. And then, yeah, some of the lots have rear houses. The east end has the alley, so there are houses on the alleys. But these 2 are definitely just, like the same house on 2 lots mirrored, sharing a driveway, very narrow driveway. But, yeah.
So I
and they
assume.
each have a garage in the backyard.
Really?
Yeah.
So I assume there's also an easement for the shared driveway.
And there is, I found that too.
Sorry, I just had to ask.
Sure. From my own experience, older than Jack, I think. I grew up in the area also, and there was many of those front houses and back houses. Because my grandparents lived on Comstock, and what's the next street to Comstock? Not Sewell, the other one.
Pine?
No,
West or east?
Langford?
No, there's Sewell, and then there's
Monroe.
Well, Pine runs north-south, so it runs.
East-west.
East-west,
is,
Sewell, Madison, Summerfield.
no way, it could be Summerfield. And in any event, they were, next door to her, there was a back house, and then a front house. Some of them had second-story houses, all along that street, as growing up. I think what's happened over the years is those houses have been demolished and the lots have been reconfigured. And I think this is probably what happened here.
Thank you. Just a little history, that's all. Please proceed, Mr. Minkler.
Okay.
So at some point, Ms. Aristone came to you because she needed more space, correct?
Yes, yeah. So the house itself, even though it's definitely a very nice house from the street, it is a little crowded on the inside, especially when it comes to the rear of the home. The kitchen is a very narrow kitchen. So the intent was to expand that kitchen and to also expand one of these smaller bedrooms upstairs as part of that. Really just take the back of the house and extend it further into the rear yard. There was an existing large wood deck that was there, and we're really just extending it to the size of that deck and then adding a new deck beyond that, all within an existing patio. So the patio would be removed. So we're really not building more of the lot than is already built. And in reality, we're actually reducing it by a little bit.
When you say reducing, you mean the
Coverage.
impervious coverage?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know the approximate amount of reduction?
So on the screen and in the drawings, you'll see in the zoning analysis, the maximum impervious coverage calculations are shown there. We were currently at 2191 square feet total. In the end, we'll be at 2014 square foot total. So a slight reduction. Not a lot, but.
But it's not an increase.
No.
Quick question.
Yes.
Is the brick patio being enlarged at all?
No, it's being reduced.
It looks like I'm looking at the survey on the plan, brick patio ends right around where the L is for the lot. And over to the right-hand side.
Right here.
On the right-hand side of the page, you have the existing survey. So it ends kind of in line with the L, or lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then on the proposed side, it looks like a bit expanded towards the beach.
It could possibly be larger. I'd have to ask my client that. It does, I see what you're saying, that it does appear to be larger. It is 321 square feet is what that patio is, whether it's larger or not than the existing.
And with that 321 square feet, you still have a slight reduction in impervious coverage?
Well, that's the question that the engineer's asking.
So what are the dimensions? Because I thought it was the same width as a house, but.
It is the same width.
18 feet long or something?
It is the same width of the house. Let's see, next sheet. So, yeah, it's about 18 foot 10 is the existing width, and that's the existing width of the house.
Because I think I have a different.
Calculation.
So it does appear to be square, so I'd imagine it's about 19 feet out from that deck. But I do see what you're saying with the line there. It is possible that it is larger. I would have to verify that.
I don't know, they're also both at different scales, so maybe on online, my eyes are just playing tricks on me. One's at 10 scale and one's at 20 scale, so.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, the existing survey is underneath the proposed. So I'd have to look into that.
Okay. Well, in any event, we're asking the board for that size of the deck, right?
Yes.
Not sure if it requires an additional variance for coverage or not. It's a calculation, figure that out.
Oh, we're allowed 65% of the lot area, if I'm not mistaken, so
We're still good?
we would still be well under. But
We didn't prepare a planning report for that. Yes. We never replied. You didn't get a report. Okay. We'll work with that, it's okay.
Well. Yeah, it's not like I can print it out.
I got your planning report on the other application.
Weird.
So, there are, sometimes you don't send planning reports on this.
Yeah, no, just to recap, I had,
Please.
looked like it was paver patio would decrease to approximately 18 by 18 or 324 square feet. And that's, yeah,
So, the variances, really.
but would be within the maximum coverage.
Right, we're still looking just for side yard variances.
Right.
Because we're building up an existing side yard setback. So we're increasing the intensity of this existing side yard setback.
Yes.
Correct. Did you find any other variances?
No, actually I said that you don't need a building coverage variance
Okay.
because you guys were counting the deck area and we exclude that now.
Okay.
Okay. So
So it is just the side yard.
just the side yard.
Okay.
Side yard and combined.
Correct.
Right.
And the minimum side yard combined, are we increasing either existing side yard?
We are not. We're matching to the width of the existing.
And we're just going up?
Correct.
And the
Out and up.
property adjacent to the immediate west, no, strike that, to the east, is just as close, right?
Yes,
That's the other 25-foot lot.
correct. And the shared driveways between the two houses.
And do you know did you work on that house, Nick?
I did not.
And the height of that house is similar?
From my understanding, it's really the exact same house. So the height would be very similar, if not identical.
And can you tell us what's inside on the second floor? What we're doing?
On the second floor, we are extending an existing bedroom and bathroom to just make it more usable. The current bedroom that is there is actually undersized. By today's code, I don't actually believe it would count as a bedroom. So it's just to expand that room to make it more usable.
And we're not adding any more bedrooms to the house?
No, we are not.
So the density per person on the lot will remain the same?
Correct.
As compared to regular.
answers of the other application.
I'm not sure if the board has any other questions. I have Sarah Stone here to testify as to their needs.
Does anybody on the board have any questions for Mr. Minkler?
Hearing none, I would just ask the planner to give the highlights of your report since I didn't see it.
Well, I guess, I could start off. There were questions in regards to, we understand there's going to be new fencing in the rear of the house.
I'm sorry, what was that?
There will be new fencing that's going to be put up?
Yes, there'd be fencing located at either side of the home, as marked on the plans.
So what is proposed at this time? Do you know the type of fencing and?
I would imagine it'd be vinyl fencing or any fencing that the board would.
So no decisions have been made with regards to the fencing?
Can you tell us the height of the fence?
Really no decisions have been made. We're happy to provide whatever fence the board would want in that area.
Well, the maximum height for the rear of the house would be 6 feet. To the side of the house, you can go to the edge, but then beyond that would have to be dropped to 4 feet.
Okay. Yeah, I don't believe my client has any objections.
There's an existing fence now.
We'll get you to testify in a second. There's an existing fence now, right?
There is an existing fence, but it would be removed as part of the work, just because of the work it would have to be removed for digging and things like that.
And we would put up a fence that would be 6 feet or less, we would comply with the ordinance.
Right.
And we would supply a detail of the fence
As part of the conditions of the.
final approval for resolution compliance.
Understood.
We'll pick that out and see what you want. What do you like?
Personally?
3063 of the ordinance.
We will comply.
Have you taken the time to look at other fences in the neighborhood so that you will be like houses in the neighborhood?
Yeah, as the architect, I don't really specify the fence. That really isn't part of my scope of work. It would be, the homeowner would choose the fence, and I'm sure they would choose the fence that would comply with the ordinance.
No, comply with the ordinance, but we're going to give you a similar fence to those in the neighborhood.
Absolutely.
And where are the downspouts going to be located, Mr. Minkler? Do you know?
They would be located in the corners of the home, similar to where they're located now. That really wouldn't be changing all that much.
Maybe directed towards the street?
Yes, absolutely.
And I would assume we can ask the question from the applicant about the current parking situation,
Yeah.
off-street parking.
Yes, I see that.
Can we cover how parking is arranged in the arrangement with the driveway?
Sure.
But that's not really Mr. Minkler's.
True.
Yeah.
Right.
I have no further questions. Unless you did, if you have any more.
I think that's it for me, unless somebody else has any questions from the board. Board professionals in regards?
Not so much a question, but just a clarification. If, it looks like, even though there's some unknowns about the size of the patio.
Right.
It still would seem as though it would be less than 1,000 square feet of new impervious surface. It wouldn't trigger any stormwater management requirements because it would be less than 1,000 of new impervious, and they're not disturbing more than 5,000 square feet. So,
Yeah.
Understood, yes.
Yep.
Right.
If I can just ask, what's the patio consist of?
It would be a brick paver or similar stone.
The ability of water to penetrate in between?
Correct.
Permeable, we assume. Someplace for the water to go, Mr. Minkler,
Yes.
is our greatest concern.
Absolutely.
That's the intention.
Correct.
We're not going to put up a cement slab.
Right.
Brick
No, but-
or pavers, which would have gaps in between in order to.
That doesn't make it
Yes.
permeable.
Right.
So let's make sure we're clear. Are we
Okay.
making them make a permeable paver patio, or are they allowed to do a, whatever patio.
Well, I think they said they were doing brick.
Right, but it's the
Or
stuff
pavement.
that's under that
Right.
makes it,
Is it permanent or is it sand and aggregate based?
Be sand and aggregate base.
Is that satisfactory?
Well, Doug, based on what you said.
Well, it's less
Be-
than 1,000 square feet of additional.
Right, but based on what you said, does it have to be permeable? If you-
No.
No.
doesn't have
I
to be,
think-
but what they're proposing is
Right.
not permanent.
Pavers by their nature, you could argue they're a little bit permeable because they're on sand base and they do allow some water to penetrate into the ground. But we're not asking them to propose legitimate permeable pavers, correct? I mean, those would require like some engineered design. So I think. just want-
I'm not asking for that.
just
I don't
want
think so.
to-
No, if it's acceptable to have the pavers slash bricks based on mortar and sand. That's what-
There's also going to be an outdoor shower, correct?
Correct.
So where is the water going from the outdoor shower?
It would be drained
Into?
Into,
into the sewer line, I believe, unless, there is an outdoor shower currently on the property.
There is.
There is.
but is that tied into the sewer?
That, I am not positive. I would have to ask my client about that. The intent would be to provide the same type of drainage as is currently there.
But you're not sure what is currently
I'm
there.
not sure whether it's drained or if it's just a wet area.
Is that something your applicant would know?
I believe so.
Okay, so we can wait for some questions for the applicant. Any further questions from the board professionals or the board for Mr. Minkler?
Was there still a question about the parking?
We were going to ask the applicant that.
Okay, right. Sorry.
No? Any questions from the public for Mr. Minkler, just on his testimony? All right, thank you, Mr. Minkler.
Thank you. Should I leave the drawings open?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, by the way,
Please.
that's one thing, is they want, since it was testified to, probably reference it.
The entire packet, I would think, right?
Yeah, well, whatever's, at least the architecturals, because I'm sure in the resolution I'm gonna reference the plans, so I need some point of reference, so make it
Yeah.
18. Please, Marie.
Thank you.
Swear.
Please raise your right hand. Swear testimony about giving this matter with the truth and the truth and nothing but the truth. Please state your name for the record and spell it.
Angelica Aristone, Angelica. Aristone's Aristone.
Thank you.
Can you hear?
I can,
Move the
I
mic
can.
closer to her.
Okay.
Ms. Aristone, how long have you owned this property?
Since 2015,
Okay,
Okay, and this is your permanent principal residence?
yes,
Okay,
now it is,
now it is, okay. And as a matter of fact, you even work from home, right?
correct.
You're there
We
for-
both do, me and my partner.
You report, and this is your, and you have your office?
Yeah.
Your home office there?
Both of us.
Both of us, and the board is concerned, number one, what do you need inside the building that you're asking for this addition for?
Well, definitely need a bigger kitchen. It's really tight right now, so we just need more space. We're home a lot, all the time, for all 3 meals together. We also need the downstairs, we're putting a shower in the downstairs bathroom as well. And then upstairs, we just need more space. We'll probably make that 1 bedroom into an office kind of bedroom and just need a bigger bathroom. So that's what we're hoping to have happen.
And then you're gonna have you're eating up or you're using your patio now for this addition.
Correct.
And you're adding an additional patio.
Correct.
All right. You don't plan to cover it or do anything else other than have an open patio?
Open patio, just a table.
And you heard the board that it could be sort of brick or pavers with mortar and sand in between.
Okay.
That's your intention?
Yeah, as long as, whatever needs for approval, like we'll put
Have
it in
you
whatever.
thought about the fence material?
Well, currently we have a wood fence and it's, I believe, 6 foot. It's definitely taller than me. So we'd like to keep it, it's a wood fence if we
but
can.
the ordinance actually dictates the size and the height
Okay.
and I'm sure Donna could help you with that.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, now, there's some concern, you need some explanation. How does the shared driveway work?
There's a shared driveway between the 2 homes, very, very tight. You can pull in, like when they come to sweep, we do use that to pull into the front of the driveway. But aside from that, you can't really drive into the back.
Do you park your car there, Ms. Aristone?
No, we park in the front of the house.
You do?
Yeah.
Does the other house use the driveway? Did you
No,
say? They don't.
they're only here on the weekends too. Yeah, so we don't.
So no one uses the
So
driveway?
they're never parked in tandem where you're one behind the other, or?
No, the only time you'll see that occasionally is if, like, again, the sweeper's coming through, I may pull out to let the sweeper go by on Tuesdays and then pull back in, or I park across the street.
What about like when there's snow? Are you guys in the driveway then?
No, typically still on the side of the street, yeah.
Okay.
How deep is the driveway? How many cars can you fit in a row?
I would say you probably could fit 2, as long as you pull close, because otherwise you'll be in front of the sidewalk. So to clear the sidewalk, you could probably fit 2 cars. Yeah.
And this is the same system you've had for the last 8 years you've lived there, right?
Yep.
And get along with the neighbors.
So essentially, nobody uses the driveway.
No, it just,
Too narrow.
yeah, it's way too narrow. I mean, and they actually our neighbors have access to the alleyway, so.
Oh, they do?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're asking the board to approve this and grant you a variance for side yard, combined side yard setback. You know,
But before we get onto that, what about the outdoor shower? How is that currently?
There's a drain.
And do you know whether that's directly into the sewer line?
I believe so, yes. I think it goes to the same line that my indoor shower goes to, as far as I know, but yeah, there's definitely a drain though.
Is it covered, the shower?
The shower's not covered, no.
That's a lot of infiltration.
What's at the bottom of the shower?
There's concrete down there, and then there's an actual drain on the bottom with a grate.
That drain goes someplace. You believe into the sewer system with your other.
I'm assuming, yeah.
There's no way for us to know one way or the other, Donna?
I mean, there's ways of knowing, but
Yeah.
we're not gonna make them TD their shower line.
Are you planning to put the outdoor shower in the same location that it is now?
Just further back, because the house will be extended back a little bit, so it would just be further.
It's in the same line, but it moves
Yeah.
back a bit.
And you
I don't think there's any, Doug, there's a stormwater inlets like nearby, right? In the corners?
It would be connected to the sanitary sewer though.
It's just a lot of infiltration. I mean, every time it rains, water's going into the,
Does
You
the
know,
proposed
sewer
outdoor
system.
shower have a roof on it?
Getting
Or
treated.
over at the top?
does it overflow?
So what happens? What happens when it rains?
Well, there is, I guess, if you're in the shower, I guess the end of the house, I guess it does cover it a little, but, I mean, you do get, it's not covered, so you do get wet out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, does the water pool in the cement
No.
area?
no, and we never had flooding back there, no.
Yeah, all right.
Are you increasing the size of the shower?
Observation.
Oh, sorry, Don. Are you increasing the size of the shower?
Just an outdoor shower, small, same size.
I don't have any questions for Ms. Harrison. Does anybody else on the board?
Jack?
You're actually gonna remove the old shower. I would assume by code, the new one in the drain has to drain into a lateral somewhere. It can't just go into the ground, can
They can, it's just,
it? With that, what's your
Drywall.
plan? Is your plan to tie it into the system? Or is your plan to put some type of drywall in there? Do you know?
I don't know yet, no, I mean, I would think that whatever it is doing now is probably what we would try to do the same, but, I mean, whatever is required, I think we would do, have to do.
Well, that's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
What's happening with it now?
so like the threshold for a plumbing permit might not be there for this thing. Right, and that would be the thing where the inspector would come out and go, oh, this is an open inlet into the treated system, we can't have that.
But putting a roof on it.
I mean,
Or having a dry well.
We wouldn't want it to go into the stormwater, right?
Well, we wouldn't mind it going to stormwater, we don't want it going to sanitary sewer.
Right, stormwater.
That's gonna overload, the sewer plant. I mean, not their
But wouldn't a drop-
showers, really super foot, but I'm just, those are
But
the types of things.
every drop counts.
Those are the types of
It
things,
does.
right? that
Wouldn't it
we're
dry
getting,
well?
EPA on our tail for not complying with our discharges.
You're proposing some new plumbing fixtures, right, besides the outdoor shower? So I would
Yeah, putting a second bathroom.
Yeah, well,
Larger.
we're increasing the size of this bathroom, putting a tub in, and then downstairs
Okay.
also adding a shower,
So they're
so.
gonna get a plumbing permit anyway.
They should, I would think.
So as long as you include the outdoor shower in the plumbing permit,
Okay.
There you
we'll
go.
let them catch
Yep.
it.
There you
And
go.
decide what to do.
Yeah.
Plumbing code.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Donna, do you recommend that it be covered to avoid rainfall or anything? Does that matter? Because you mentioned it before.
Plumbing may require that. I don't know
Right.
Yeah.
that Donna
Okay.
would, but.
Let the permit people.
Do you understand the difference that we're talking about
Yes.
stormwater and,
Yeah.
yeah?
And I'm hoping I don't have to cover it, because it's really nice taking showers outside
Well, the construction department will help you
Okay.
resolve this issue.
Okay.
But as long as you're already applying for a permit, and if you make them aware of the outdoor shower, they'll help you with that as well.
Okay.
Just, can you show us where the shower's going? Can you show me where the shower's going?
It's in
In
line
case we
with
need a
the
variance.
existing shower, it's just pushing.
Put over it. I want to make sure.
No,
No.
it's in line with everything else.
And you don't have to enclose it, you just may have to put a canopy,
Yeah.
and leave some things open. You can still get an open shower
Okay.
that's covered when it rains, so it doesn't flood.
rainwater.
There's ways to do it creatively,
Okay.
where you still have an outdoor space.
Okay.
And it feels open
Promise you.
and
Yeah.
airy.
And I feel free.
Yes. Like you're on vacation.
Yeah.
Put it on the side.
We'll give you that 4-star experience.
Okay, so
Put some pot
so it's going to be before the.
Yeah.
Show me
It's not quite the spa you're looking for, but.
I'll take it.
So,
Bless you.
And if it has a shower pan, does it have, what's the base now? What do you stand on? Is it just rock?
It's the pavers.
Pavers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure if we have to put a roof on that for the requirements. Side yard.
No.
No? Okay.
I'll talk to Mary Ann. We're all good.
Okay, just in case.
Yeah.
We'll comply with every plumbing permit requires. And we'll do.
Does the board want a roof on this? If it's just compliance with plumbing, I don't know.
No,
You
she-
tell me, so I know. what
The
to-
plumbers need to determine that. I don't
Yeah,
think we need
I
to
don't think
determine
we
that.
need
I got it, I'm good. Okay.
The finish. And you like the rest of the house?
I want it to look identical to the current house, yeah.
Same siding, extension of the roof, same material, same color, everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hadn't realized how big the bar is in the kitchen. It's gonna be nice.
Thanks. I'll be over. When it's finished.
It's okay.
I don't have any particular questions. The applicant, unless the board knows what the ordinance
Any further questions for Ms. Aristone? Anybody in the public for Ms. Aristone? No? Okay.
Wait, you can ask if anybody's for or against it.
No, we haven't gotten to that yet. Soon. Hold back.
I'm for it, but you don't always have.
Hold back. I know your other attorney wants to start. So, are we good?
Rest?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll now open it up for public comment.
Yeah, we're all for it. I think
You have to go to the mic.
You have to come to the
You
mic.
have to go to the mic and state your name and address.
Please raise your right hand because you're actually going to testify. That's, so I swear testimony about the given this matter with the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Please give us your name and your address.
Michael Loper and 1107 Fifth Avenue.
Thank you. Go right ahead.
I'm all for it.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
You don't want to say any more than that?
Okay, same routine, right hand.
Okay,
Solemnly swear testimony about the given this matter with the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Please state your name for the record and spell it, and give us your address.
Sure. My name is Melissa Gibson, Melissa Gibson. My address is 1115 Fifth Avenue. I used to live at 1109.5 Fifth Avenue, and I'm very excited to see them make some changes to it. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the public for Ms. Aristone's application, either for or against? All right, I'll make a motion to close public comment.
Second.
All right,
Would you like some action or?
please.
Basically, we're just asking for a variance for the side yard and combined side yard for the addition, which is actually just going up and not out because of the close proximity to side property lines. Just to expand the existing kitchen and the bedroom upstairs to make it more livable and move the shower and change the configuration of the deck, basically, by moving it a little further back.
Thank you, Mr. Steinberg. All right, so it's up to us at this point. Anyone have any comments, either for or against?
I think this is an extremely reasonable ask. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a reasonable ask. I think it will improve your living conditions greatly and improve the neighborhood.
And I too agree with my colleagues. I don't think there's any more than we have to say.
I agree.
So I make a motion to approve 1109.5 application, Ms. Aristone, with the following conditions. That first, the fencing requirement is reviewed with our board planner. The plumbing situation regarding the outdoor shower is appropriately handled with the construction department in regards to where the water is dispensed. The downspouts are appropriately placed on the property, heading towards the front of the house and away from their neighbors. Am I missing any other conditions?
Patio?
And the patio pavers should be permeable.
Well, the material doesn't have to be permeable, right? Isn't it?
Just by saying that there'll be pavers in set and sand.
Right.
Set and sand, okay. I think when you get into the word permeable, because it might
Right.
Okay.
I know what you mean, but we all may not be permeable.
I hope so. What did you mean by that?
In position to answer a question.
I will second the motion.
Got it. Daniel Harris,
Yes.
Russell Lewis,
Yes.
Jill Potter,
Yes.
Jose Alcaraz,
Yes.
Vice Chair John Scully,
Yes.
and Chairman Avaloni.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Aristone. Congratulations.
Enjoy, ladies.
Enjoy. Thanks for having an easy application.
Yeah.
Needed that one.
The first week, next meeting or so, we'll have a resolution
Next 1 or 2
from the
days.
board attorney,
Sure.
and then we have to publish something,
Within 45 days, sir,
45 days.
one major action.
Maybe 55.
and then after that, I think.
Okay. You're just gonna tell me. I'm just waiting for you to tell me.
Yeah, first it's got to do the resolution.
I'm just gonna wait for your.
I'll take it. Thank you.
All right,
Do you
so,
guys want to do a break or?
yes, I'm going to make a motion for a 10-minute recess.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I will now take roll call and we will be returning.
My
So
Instagram is my dog account.
Daniel Harris.
Here.
Russell Lewis.
Here.
Jill Potter.
Here.
Jose Alcaraz.
Here.
Vice Chair John Scully.
Here.
And Chairman Christopher Avaloni.
Here.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Steinberg, your second application, 905 Summerfield Avenue.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Steinman, on behalf of the applicant for 905 Summerfield Avenue. This is an application to expand the pre-existing non-conforming use. It is an existing two-family house, which we're adding in addition to the rear of the second floor, and making some other changes to the site, minor changes to the site, which will require front yard setback, because least front yard setback. The front yard setback on Memorial Drive, because we have two frontages, both on Summerfield and on Memorial Drive. Existing house, I understand, is over 100 years old, and it's not in good condition, and my clients are desirous of renovating it to today's standards. And I would ask that you swear in our architect so we can walk you through the proposal.
By the way, the last application, the this application was designed to oppose properly, we had jurisdiction. So we can proceed. State your name, sir. Well, actually, raise your right hand. Sure. I swear, testimony about the truth is the truth and the truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
Please state your name for the record and spell it.
It's Vicente Varela. It's the first name is spelled Vicente, and the last name Varela is Varela.
May we have the benefit of your credentials, Mr. Varela?
Sure. I graduated from NJIT in 2005. I received my license in 2014, and I've presented before numerous boards, probably about like 50 times, I would say.
Thank you.
Sure, thanks.
We accept your credentials. Please go on.
You have met with the applicants, and they had some concerns about renovating and bringing this property up to code, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And can you walk us through what the proposal will be?
Sure. So this is the existing house here. There's actually something already on the first floor where we're looking to add the second floor addition. So in terms of footprint, we're not actually adding to the building, we're just adding on top of it. But yeah, the existing house is an existing. Sorry.
Let it go.
Repeat with that.
So the existing house, my clients have lived there for, I think, they've owned it, I think, for about 60 plus years. Currently, the first floor has a living room, dining room, kitchen, and a bathroom. And on the second floor, it's a duplex divided down the middle of the house. On the second floor, it has 3 bedrooms, but there's no bathroom on the second floor. So it's very strange that, somebody at in bedroom number 3, for instance, would have to come downstairs, go across the kitchen to go to the bathroom in the morning. So it's a very uncomfortable layout as it is. My client is looking to continue using it as a 2-family dwelling, whether or not this is approved. But they would like to continue using it in a manner that works better in terms of the layout and just for.
I understand.
Yeah.
So presently, each of the units.
Get some order, Mr. Stanford.
Do you need a break?
Yeah.
So each of the units has 3 bedrooms upstairs.
Currently, yes.
And you plan to renovate and reduce that to 2 bedrooms per unit.
Yes, my client's concerned with the quality of living there. Yep.
So we are reducing the density of living units or density of bedrooms on site so there'll be less people possibly living there.
Correct.
In addition to that,
Very good. I just wonder if you wanted a mint.
So in addition to that, can you walk us through the site plan that's outside? Because there's some changes to the outside that is questioned.
Sure. So on the outside.
By the way, you familiar with the neighborhood?
Yes.
Next door, immediately to the west, immediately to the west is a single-family house.
That's correct.
Does it have a driveway? If I tell you it does not have a driveway, would you agree? And the house to the, you recall that the house to the immediate
Left of that one?
Left of that one is a two-family house.
Yes.
And across the street is a little commercial complex?
Yes, yes. Yeah, across the street is a different zone. Right? We're in the...
We're talking about across Summer Field. Yes.
Yes.
And what's there?
Yeah, it's a commercial store there. But yeah, that's a redevelopment area there, right? And we're in the light industrial zone here.
Right, you're close proximity to other similar residential structures.
Right, right.
Including two families.
Yes.
Now, you made some proposals to the exterior.
Yeah, well, currently the building is in pretty bad shape. So we're looking to make it nicer. So towards that, we're proposing to do two separate stairs at the covered porch. We just feel it's something that would be nice, so that each apartment feels like they have their own separate entrance. We would also add shrubbery at the front, and we would add a sidewalk, not sidewalk, a walkway inside of the property here.
To the driveway?
Yeah.
Are you eliminating the walkway there to the existing sidewalk?
Yes, we would remove that. And
replace it with
existing walkway.
landscaping?
Yeah, replace it with landscaping and remove the fence at the front.
And if you're required, you could put a walkway down to the existing sidewalk.
Yes.
If the board so requires.
Yeah.
In your architectural design, you felt that this is more appropriate.
Right, and also because it's really the city's property, so I was trying to reduce what we do on the city property.
Now, adjacent to the house, there's an existing driveway,
Yes.
and you propose that driveway be usable now? It's not usable currently, is it?
Well, they've been parking there, yeah.
Okay. And you propose to extend it to the rear of the house
That's correct.
and pave the back
Yes.
and use that for additional parking?
Yeah, potentially, yes. Yes.
And you're removing the shed?
Yes, shed is to be removed.
And you're going to replace the existing chain link fences on the Summerfield Avenue side and in the front?
Yes, at the front to a certain extent. All the way around the back and towards the front, there would be 6 foot high stockade fence. And then at a certain point, it would become a 4 foot fence.
On that side?
Yes.
Across the front, you said you're removing the fence?
Yeah, across the front, I think it's better to remove the fence. I looked at other homes on the same street, and most of them don't have any fencing in the front.
What are you going to do on Memorial Avenue side?
There, I think we would just have concrete there, because we have the wall of the house. We would start the fence at the rear corner of the house.
Now that's considered a front yard, and we'd have to comply with the 4 feet.
Yes, there's a provision on corner lots to be 6 feet as long as you're pouring them out.
Okay, so we will propose the 6 feet, again, stockade fence, and I think that your plans do have the specs for the fence?
Yes, I have them here.
Which one this packet is A1?
It's on sheet PL30.
I think that was one of the planner's questions.
Okay, so it's
Yeah, it's on the last
6 foot.
sheet. Yeah, I'm showing 6 foot here.
That's solid or that's board on board?
Oh,
Is it stockade or is it board on board?
No, stockade.
Stockade.
Yeah.
So Donna, on Memorial, they can have a 6 foot fence towards the back?
Donna, please raise your right hand. someone swear testimony that give this matter the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your names for the record and tell us your affiliation with the board.
Donna Miller, board planner.
Doug Lowen, board engineer.
Sorry for
No, thank you.
That's what I had asked before.
I just want to clarify.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the citation now.
We would put the height of the fence along Memorial as required
Yeah.
by ordinance. I'm surprised you're allowed 6.
As a corner lot?
There's a diagram with a bunch of restrictions based on whether it's at the rear corner of the house, its height, whether it's open or not. We just recently had a fence on a corner case above a retaining wall. 63, yes. Just on the page location.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
It's too small.
I'm just thinking because of the location, if you can get 6 feet, that might be nice, because you're on Memorial.
You're on Memorial, and it would, if there's parking.
Just on that side, like, so that's what I'm
I
thinking.
agree, the board can grant variance.
But I don't know, that's why I asked Donna.
Yeah, we also have the train right there.
Right.
For sound.
So you're not, while she's looking, you're not planning to put it on the side of the house, though? So
No.
No reason?
No.
So it would start in the back of the house,
Right,
the back corner, and then would it then go east to west, west to east? East to west?
Yes.
East to west.
Is that shown on the plan?
It's right here. East to west. And it's shown coming down to the corner.
Right now, it's chain link, right?
Existing as chain link.
All the chain link would go.
Yeah, see, this is
Yeah,
the problem.
connection.
Between the
You can see it here. See the chain link there.
Park next to the house, so in the rear corner.
You don't have anything else?
Yeah.
The rear corner has to be a property line.
No, no, fence, so, yeah,
It's too
we'll,
restricted.
yeah.
I don't need that much I have a question. I think I know the answer to it, but this house is not square to the lot, correct? I'm looking at the survey here, and I'm wondering if my glasses are fuzzy, but it doesn't look like the house is square to the lot.
Right.
You could clearly see in the driveway from the front of the back of the house, it starts more narrow and it gets wider. Yeah, it's almost a foot wider in the back. So it's the house that's not square, right?
It's still, up there's some detail to it.
Can you talk more about the new concrete patio in the back? I see that on the survey here, but I don't have dimensions and I don't, is it, you propose?
And I didn't realize it was gonna be used for parking.
Well.
And it's the entire backyard?
Yeah, well.
I mean, basically, it's almost all going to be.
Are you proposing to concrete the entire back of this property? So you're proposing to remove the shed. What are you planning on doing with the patio? And is this for parking? And if so, where are people parking?
And if you don't know, that's okay. Don't answer.
That's not really the architect's question, though.
Well, he has it on here,
He's
so.
the one that said there's a new concrete patio going in the
Do you
back.
wanna
So
go
that's
back
why
to the
I asked.
fence?
I do want the answer on the fence.
Yeah, okay. So, and I know this is all fresh in everybody's mind from the Tucker Williams case.
Yes.
So.
Wait for the attorney, maybe?
Okay.
Sorry.
It's all right.
We have an update on the fence.
So, it's allowed to be 6 feet high, facing a street, on the side, a corner lot, as long as it's from the rear building line of the house, in line with the setback line. Now, because it's the LI zone, there's no minimum setback from Memorial Drive, it's a maximum. So it can be like 1 foot off the Memorial Drive property line, and it can be solid from the rear building corner. back to the rear property line as a 6-foot solid fence.
Well, I like that for them. If this application is approved, I like that they have that ability to have that protection from Memorial and the railroads.
It wouldn't be, further south, along the house or from the front
But from the
corner of the
rear
house.
point of the house, north.
From the rear corner, yeah. But the front corner needs to be, 4 foot open.
Yep, exactly.
Same thing on the interior side and the front yard, 4 foot open.
Where's the fence, where's the 6-foot permitted? From the rear corner of the house?
Yes.
From there to the end.
Right, I got it, to the rear of the property, I get it.
And then wrapping back, west and south, yeah.
East to west, and then bringing it down up to.
Now, so this is where it changes.
Yeah.
That front building corner,
Yeah, and then
that's where you have to transition to 4 foot open.
Or stop it.
Or stop it.
Yes.
Okay.
There's no fence on the other side of the house. Right? Between the dwelling and the
front sidewalk.
No, there's not gonna be any fences. You're
No.
gonna bring the fence down to
He
the,
testified he's taking out the chain link in the front yard and not replacing
and
it.
we're bringing the 6 foot down even the front of the house and then stop it.
Right.
Okay.
That would be the whole thing. So proposal, and the applicant is open to suggestions, is to extend the driveway, to be able to have 2 parking spaces by turning right, and then being able to back out.
What is the requirement, Donna, for a 2-family in this particular?
They need 3 parking spaces.
They need 3 parking spaces.
It's only a 36-foot wide lot. Is that enough, Doug?
I was gonna say, what's the,
So 18-foot long parking space, you need to be able to back
Turn.
out.
Right.
Normally when we have parking, we have a 24-foot wide aisle with an 18-foot space.
Which is the
That's more than
requirement,
36 feet.
which is why they're adding the concrete area, basically increasing it from 50% to 95%?
Well, they're permitted 90%, I believe.
So they need 3 parking spaces?
Yeah, but that's under the scenario that it's light industrial, not a
I
residence.
understand. I mean, we'll take the board's suggestion and we'd like to get as much parking as possible, but.
So if they need 3 parking spaces, that's 18 times 3 is 54, right? They have 60-something feet along the side of the house where the current driveway is to fit 3 vehicles. But it sounds like they want additional parking beyond that, beyond the 3 that are required. Is that correct?
It's not so much they need additional, they don't particularly want tandem parking if they don't have to have it. So they don't want it back, it's a tough back out on that corner also.
Yeah.
But you can't have to back out and then have to back out.
So it's all in.
Is there enough room for them to turn around?
is there enough room to back out, clear cars, and then come out straight forward?
Well, I mean, right now they only have, I would say 2 spaces back to back on that side yard, with more bedrooms. So we're reducing the number of bedrooms. So we shouldn't necessarily, I guess they've been able to manage with a 2-car back to back. I think having some parking in the back, even if it is just 2 spaces, I think they would be able to.
But we're saying 2 spaces don't work because you can't maneuver.
Right.
Because it's only 36 feet of, width
Unless you can
from east
propose
to west. So you don't have the ability to do the radius to back out without hitting the car that you're parked next to, or the fence, or the house.
I think you could park 2 vehicles back there, but you would have to back out. There's no way to turn around.
Like I said, normally when we have a parking lot, when you have angled parking with, a one-way drive aisle, you still have more than 36 feet of,
Maneuverability.
maneuver or, distance, and that's going, heading out and around. When you have 90-degree parking, what is it, like 22 is our minimum drive aisle next to a parking space? Yeah. So 18 and 22 is 40. 40. Which is 4 feet more than they have land area of. So, you know, I don't want to be the engineer.
No, I understand.
My friend Doug. But I think the math is that, you know, yeah, could you get cars back there? Sure. Could you,
Get them back out.
maneuver, you know, a 19-point K-turn to get out? Yeah. Is that really what we want to have happening in the backyard?
So what we decided is that we would request that we be permitted to extend the driveway all the way to the back. We get these 3 cars off of the street, and the other area.
You don't need to go all the way back to get 3 cars off the street. You only need 60 feet, and that's, you know, the length of the house.
Okay, that's fine. The back will not be paved. It'll be grass.
And the driveway will be the same width? The
I don't think
extension?
we can go any wider, right? Well, it fades out.
It looks like you actually could because of the way the angle is, but.
We're gonna expand the driveway.
Up to the property line?
Up to the property line?
Out to the property line, that's what I'm asking.
Up to the property line. We'll be able to get 3 off-street parking spaces there. They'll testify that, by the way, they back in.
They back in?
Yeah. They'll testify to that. They back in because getting out of there, backing out is not easy.
I know, but.
Backing in, you can control to some extent. That's their problem.
Everybody must hate them.
Pardon me? Everybody hates them. They do it quickly.
You have to, yeah.
It's a tough backing out.
It's a tough backing in too, like that's.
Well, that's how to do it.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I applaud them.
Either one.
Skill.
There is no street parking, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Part of the
Right.
front because it's a corner.
Right.
The guy next door has no driveway, so
Yeah.
he's there.
And then the other 2 family.
Yeah.
And that has a parking lot in the back. The other 2 family. I don't know how they do it.
So you would just be lining up 3 cars, 1, 2, 3, somebody would have to move to get another car out.
Right. There's some other questions that some of the reports brought up. Let's go over it. Okay. So that's how we're handling off-street parking. That was one of Susan's questions. We took out.
Donna.
Susan, Donna. That's a new one. I'm usually Debbie. Thank you.
Donna, sorry. That's me. There used to be a Susan in this board, right? Planner, Susan.
Susan's role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, just a couple years post-dated here. That's how we handle the off-street parking. We'd be able to get 3 and 10. Whether we back in, back out.
Oh, and they don't have a parking lot in the back.
Okay, they have a long.
They have a driveway.
Yeah, we would do the same thing, and we would certainly then have a lot of impervious coverage. Impervious coverage, because we would clear with grass.
Yeah.
We took out the walkway in front, and you felt.
Can we revisit that?
Pardon me?
Can we revisit that? That's
Sure.
one of my questions. I like the idea that you do have the walkway for them to get to the driveway, but in order to maintain the neighborhood environment, I would like to see the sidewalk go from the public right-of-way up to the house and then your sidewalk that you want.
Okay.
But I think it's important to keep that sidewalk, or the pathway.
So yeah, we'll keep it.
So where would that be located?
Between the doors, I presume, and then they can,
Sure.
the people can fan out.
Show me, please.
Right there.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, that's.
And then they can fan out to their individual walkways.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they go
Okay.
over, or they can go all the way across to the driveway without coming down the door.
Okay.
Okay.
Unless you just.
No, yeah, I think the single one is good. Yeah, the fans out. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay? And then there'll be grass on the other side of that,
Yeah.
all the way out.
Yeah, grass,
Okay, grass,
walkway, and grass.
Okay. And then paving would go to the driveway. I don't, that's fine. Okay, we change that. So yeah, we handle the parking. The proposed fence, we just talked about. What is on our plans, and it's the height and where we're going to place the fence. And there will be no fence in the front yard beyond the front of the house. So it'll be nice and open.
Nice.
That one. And we talked about drainage to the engineer. Did we get to that?
Well, yeah, I mean, we can certainly provide a dry well. You know,
Would you need all that now that the rear is going to be?
You're not gonna be able to.
Yeah, let's back up a second, so the threshold for triggering what's defined as a minor development is 1,000 square feet of new impervious, which what you're currently proposing, I think, was 1,200 something. So now that you're not expanding the driveway all the way in the back and filling the backyard with concrete, I think that number came down substantially. It is, if I had to guess, less than 1,000 square feet. Is that
yeah,
still right?
it definitely should be less. Yeah, here we were showing 2,034 as a starting point, and 3,267, and that's with the entire backyard being paved. So now, without that being paved, we should be well below 1,000 difference.
Yeah, the survey has it as 36 by 38. In the backyard, that's 1368, so they just reduced it by.
Back 10 to that was 2,000 again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're not really changing the footprint in the driveways existing.
So once you get below the minor development threshold, the real only concern is protecting neighboring property. So we want to make sure that any work that's being done is pitched out towards the street and not towards any neighboring property. If you're going to be redoing the driveway,
right.
And any new downspouts that you're proposing will be also directed towards the public right.
Okay, that's fine. That sounds good.
I don't think there's any other architectural questions or questions for the architect from the professionals.
This is how the new layouts are proposed to be.
Interior.
Yeah, so on the first floor.
Where the tree goes.
That's why we needed the taller fence.
No, it also would element of privacy.
Any further questions for Mr. Varela from the board? Board professionals? Anyone in the public for Mr. Varela's testimony? Please come to the mic, state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Robert Resminis. I reside at 601 First Avenue, right here in this beautiful city of ours in Asbury Park. I'd like to question the applicant. I heard what he was...
Not the applicant, just Mr. Varela right now.
His testimony.
His testimony, just Mr. Varela's testimony.
Just the architect.
This witness.
Yes, as far as the parking?
Sure. Yes,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, this is, from what I understand, it's going to be a two-family, correct?
It is already a two-family.
It's an existing two-family, conforming two-family.
Non-conforming.
Non-conforming, because it hasn't been rented out for such a period of time, is that it?
No.
Okay. Well, my question is, as far as the parking goes, I think, being that it's going to be a two-family, there's always two parties, and, there's going to be a conflict. I'm a rental, I rent.
Wait,
Get to your question.
do you have a question for Mr.
I have a
Varela?
question for him regarding the parking.
Go right ahead.
Go
Ask the
ahead.
questions.
You're proposing three spot spaces, correct?
Yes.
And where are those spaces going to be located at?
They would be on the side yard here, between the on the side yard on the left side of the dwelling.
So,
In the driveway?
In the driveway.
In the driveway. Okay.
In the driveway.
so they'll all be one after another in line then, correct?
Yes.
So let's say, for instance, the first car that's in the driveway happens to be a tenant and they need to back out when there's two other cars behind it. So how are they going to get that removed? The cars, it'd be a conflict between the tenants constantly, I think. I'm not sure, but I think it would make more sense if you had the driveway being active and open egress.
Okay, so you're commenting again.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just my thoughts on
The
that.
question would be, do you think it will be a conflict, right?
I'm sure,
No, that's what you're asking him.
I'm asking him, yes, correct.
Sure. I mean, it's existed that way for a long time. Yeah, I think they can work out to see which cars are used most often and have those be more towards the street. And, you know, whichever one is used less often, perhaps have that be more towards the back. But I think it's doable. You know, it's only two units. I think the communication shouldn't be too bad. You know, as it would be if it were more units. So with 2 units, I think it's doable.
Perhaps the applicant can provide some insight as to the history when we get there.
And you are reducing the number of bedrooms in this unit,
Yes.
in both units, right?
Yeah.
So the impact is actually being decreased as far as the number of bedrooms and potentially the number of cars.
Correct.
Thank you.
Does anyone park on the street now?
I'm sorry?
Does anyone park on the street at this present time?
Can we?
Yeah, I mean, does anybody park on the
You want to
street?
know the answers, you don't know the answer, don't you?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay, so let's wait for the applicant. And Mr. Varela, any further questions? from Mr.
Yes, I
Varela?
have one more regarding
Please.
your fencing that you propose along Memorial.
Yes, go ahead.
That would be 6-foot-high milled stockade?
Yes.
Why are you choosing that type of fence and the height? Since I believe...
The ordinance,
All right. I'm sorry.
the ordinance dictates the type of fence and the height.
But isn't that considered front yard?
This is
There's a
a,
provision in the ordinance that permits that height and style of fence along that frontage.
Because it is a corner property, so basically the one on Memorial would be, the rear yard would be considered
We've
front
already
yard,
discussed
correct?
that.
Yes, and there's no front yard setback on Memorial, so it can be at the rear building line to the rear property line, 6-foot solid fence.
I find that unappealing as far as, but would you suggest? Would you?
I want your opinion.
Would it-
You asked the question, she answered.
Okay.
Now you ask another question. You have time later for your opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, you have time later.
Thank you.
Do you
very
have any
much.
further questions for Mr. Varela?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Thank you.
You'll get another chance.
Anyone else in the public for Mr. Varela? Thank you.
You have to be sworn.
Okay.
Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Please state your name for the record and spell it.
Edna Irizarry, EDNAIRIZARRY.
Thank you.
You are the applicant with your husband in this matter?
Correct.
And you guys, both of you own the property?
Yes.
And how long has it been in your family?
68 years.
And you use it, right now it's in the state of disrepair, but you use it for vacations in summer?
We stay here. We visit here all the time, hanging out. So yeah, just need to make it more modern.
And-
May I, sorry, go ahead.
And at one point, your daughter was living on one side also?
Yes, it's always been a family home for the last 68 years. Families always occupied both sides. We occupied the primary side, 903, and family's always been in 905. So it's always been a family home.
Is that way now?
Yes.
And it'll be that way in the future, it'll be
That's our
family
plan, yeah.
homes?
Just
No
haven't made it-
tenants?
No, we haven't had tenants, so it's just been family who lives on both sides.
So basically that reduces the parking issue. If you go straight up and straight back, you're only talking to family, correct?
Yes, correct.
Answered your question. Okay, thank you.
All right, so basically, you park in tandem and you figure out who goes first, right?
We know everybody's schedule, so we know who's leaving first. So that's how we just park. Who's leaving first, you just come in last and park last, so.
Does anybody park on the street at all anywhere, or?
Yeah, we can. We can
Yeah.
park on the street, because the guy next door, he's only here in the summertime, so we just park in front of his residence, he's not in town.
Okay.
And there's parking permitted on both sides of Summerfield,
Correct, correct.
None on Memorial.
No.
The other question there, how do we handle your recycling and your garbage?
We have 2 garbage bins, one for trash, one for recyclables. We keep them in the back of the house, or the side of the house, on trash stage, we roll them to the front.
And have you decided on the finish of the house?
Yes.
What have you decided?
So it's always been known as the blue house in the corner. So we just picked a prettier blue. So it's going to be still blue, but just a more calm, beachy blue.
And new roof?
And we have a new roof on it, so it's going to extend, well, if it's approved to extend the back half, we'll just add the existing
can same roof to it.
You're gonna match color and material,
Yes,
and you're gonna reside the whole house?
yes.
Okay, so everything will match.
Everything will match, new siding, new windows. It's a complete, like, we want to gut it out completely. So we've had this house 68 years. We don't have a laundry room. We have one bathroom. We don't have a dishwasher. Yeah, we don't have a dishwasher.
For both sides?
On both sides.
One bathroom on each.
Yeah, one bathroom
Oh, on each side.
We don't have a dishwasher. We don't have a washer and dryer. So we just want to make it more like today's modern use for our family. Because now we have grandkids who are coming home to us. We need a washer and dryer. We need a dishwasher. So we can't go to a laundromat.
And we're all getting up there and getting
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we want two bathrooms. Like he said, you have to come downstairs to go to the bathroom. I don't know how 8 of us lived there all those years, but we managed. I don't know, but yeah, but we managed. But now that we're able and financially able to make it a real home, we want to go ahead and do it.
You're inspiring. Thank you.
I don't have any other.
I pass by that house all the time.
Yeah, it's the blue house in the corner. Everybody knows that house.
So I want to suggest to the board, if it's okay, that I don't know that this is necessarily an expansion of a non-conforming use as we normally consider expansion. This may be like in the Lehman case where it's because we're not increasing the population, we're not increasing the density, we're not increasing the number of occupants.
You're decreasing. Essentially.
Yeah,
There's
but
no net
that's-
increase, so
I did this research for that.
That was the small
project
evidence,
recently, yeah. And unfortunately, it's a very technical variance. It's ridiculous. It's in the law, but it's ridiculous on area of the law. What triggers the variance is even though you're lessening the intensity, you're lessening the nonconformity, which was the same as the other case.
But this is still a D variance, though.
But even though you're lessening, what you're doing is, when a board is asked to act and take formal action on anything other than what is within the four corners, that's what triggers the necessity for the D variance. Okay? It's not, you would think it would be just the opposite, that if you're lessening the intensity of non-conforming use, you're bringing it more into conformity bulk-wise all the way across the board. You would think the law would say, okay, that's not a D variance, a D2. But it is, unfortunately, but it's a technical thing, and it's only because you've got to read the ordinance and the statute. Yeah, other than that,
I agree with Jack, and what we're doing is we are intensifying the side yard setback.
Exactly.
Of course,
And once the board is called upon to do that and grant something that's not within the four corners of the law, that's what triggers the other variance that makes it an expansion of the D. So it's very technical, it's wrong. Nobody's ever seen, in my legal opinion, but nobody's ever seen fit to amend the law because you would applaud people who come in and say, this is what I have, and it's way out here in non-conformity. I want to make it in here, and you can say, well, nobody would hear it. Normally you would say logically, well, that's good. So, but the law still says you got to have it. It's very technical. That's all.
I agree with counsel. I'd like to see it not to be a D. The only difference in a D is we need 5 yes votes.
Right.
As opposed to a majority.
Yeah.
But
these 5 out of 9.
it's the way it's situated because it's in an LI zone, because it's a technical expansion. We are giving a little more square footage to the building. And we're increasing the intensity of the side yard setback.
That's the only thing that triggers it as a D2.
I agree.
Any further questions for Ms. Irizarry?
Oh, one more thing. We don't have central heat or air, so we need that too. We don't have central heat or air. We have air. No, we have window units.
I feel you on that, so do I.
You're going to be putting central air conditioning into the house?
Yes.
But where are you going to locate the?
It's going to be in the back. It's on the planes too.
It's on the back.
It's in the back of the house.
I just want it on the record, that's all.
Yes.
Any further questions for Ms. Irizarry? Board planners?
No.
Engineer?
Nope.
Nope. Anyone in the public for,
Yeah.
please come to the mic.
Okay. Once again, please raise your right hand.
But this is not a public comment. This is just questions for the testimony.
Well, you're cross-examining.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Go
Yes,
ahead.
that's okay.
Sorry.
Well, ma'am, I'm glad to hear that you, are you going to reside there, ma'am? Are you going to be a tenant?
And your address again.
Your name again?
Oh, I'm sorry, Robert Resnick at 601 First Avenue.
Thank you. Your question?
I was under the impression it was going to be a rental, so you're saying you're going to be living there with your
Yes, I'm not
family?
sure you got that impression. We've lived there for 60, I've lived there 57 years.
I see. Very nice.
Yes.
I've been here 42 now,
Okay.
so, but that's good to hear, and that, again, you know, shouldn't maybe with the parking, like I stated earlier, be a conflict since you're going to be
Do
residing.
you have a question?
So thank you, that was it. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Sorry. All right, so do you have a summation for us, Mr.
Well,
Steinberg?
basically, as you've seen, we're going to renovate and improve the property. We are reducing the number of bedrooms from 6 to 4 in the entire site, and renovating it and aesthetically bringing it up to code and a pleasing look. I think we meet some of the criteria of the municipal land use law and some of its goals by doing all of that. And I think that the board will get, and the city will get, a satisfactory, nice corner in that part of town, and a vast improvement. We ask that you grant the variance, which is a D variance for the change, and I guess that encompasses or would be all variance. Sometimes
Make it
it's
separate.
What?
I'm gonna make it
Separate. Usually.
It's all right. It's something that you blend it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. There are some rules of law that people feel that you ask for a D, you get all the C's with it, but it doesn't matter. We need a C variance for the front yard setback, which is a low memorial, because we're expanding it. Plus, we need the variance.
No, you don't. There is no front yard setback on Memorial in the LI zone. It's a maximum.
Okay, so we just need the D variance.
You just need the D variance.
D variance.
It's technically a design exception for the minimum separation of buildings, but we kind of always give that one.
So what we're looking for is your approval to expand, quote unquote, the building as proposed in the LI zone, plus it's a two-family residential, pre-existing non-conforming.
Thank you, Mr. Steinberg. I left out the public comment section, so we'll have to have that.
It's okay to sum up. You can do that.
So I'll open it up to public comment. Anybody, either for or against this application?
Hearing none.
Hearing none. I'll close public comment.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
So, back to us.
Yes.
Well, I'll
Anybody?
start.
Go right ahead.
Thank you for doing this. I pass by this house all the time. I'm going to be thrilled to see it updated. I love the fact that the family is going to be there. I think what you're doing is lovely, and you have my blessing.
Okay, having been a resident around here with Asbury and Nipton all my life, I'm very familiar with the house. I am, honest to God, I'm very familiar with the house, and I've been there a few times. And to hold on to your house for 68 years in this time where gentrification is rampant in this town, I applaud you for holding on to your property. We need more people like you to hold on to their property and not sell out to the highest bidder. So I love what you're doing. My brother owns a house on that street. It's 909. But thank you for what you're doing, okay? And I have no problem with what you want to do.
I also applaud you, and I think your story is amazing and it's inspiring, and I cannot wait to see, as we all drive by your house all the time, I can't wait to drive by and look and see at your new improved home and just know that you're inside enjoying it with your family.
Yes.
Yeah, I echo the sentiments of my fellow board members.
And I as well.
I do too.
Anyone hearing all that, would someone like to make a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the application with all stipulated changes as prescribed by the board.
I can out, they want me to run them down?
Yes, please.
Sure I got it? Okay. The chain link fence is going to be removed. That's one of the conditions. The front, sides, let's talk about the memorial side, no fence in front of the house beyond the house structure. That's going to be 6 feet, which is permitted. That doesn't even have to be in here. And you've already indicated on the record it's going to be stockade, correct?
It's on the plan.
Yeah. Okay. The driveway is going to be extended a total of 60 feet total for actually stacked parking to accommodate 3 cars, yes. No part of the rear yard will be covered with impervious surface. There's going to be more grass area. You're going to maintain the walkway that's in front of the house that leads to the driveway?
No, it leads to.
Leads to the sidewalk.
Leads to the street
Sidewalk.
Sidewalk on Somerville.
But there's gonna be two sidewalks, there's gonna be 2 pathways. There's gonna be from the public right of way towards the house.
Yes.
And then it's gonna fan out and one side's, it's gonna go to each home and then as well to the driveway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's the one I'm thinking of. The other one is there.
They're gonna
Everything
maintain
is-
the existing
everything is-
connection to the public sidewalk,
That's it.
and then they're going to add a new sidewalk in
So,
front of the house.
The rest of the plans, what we're
Yes,
changing is
exactly.
from the new proposed sidewalk across, they'll come down to meet the public sidewalk.
the rest is on Exhibit A.
Yeah.
So if I reference Exhibit A,
We're gonna extend the.
all drainage, as per Doug, to be pitched towards the street, including downspouts, driveway, and the like, so that there's nothing going on contiguous property.
I think there's one area that we left out, Donna, in regards to the street trees, correct?
Technically, yes, there's a requirement to provide street trees. Memorial Drive is county road, so they'll have to,
Where would it go on?
There's no opportunity for street trees in Memorial.
that tree, I'm just saying, the code says provide. Memorial is under the county jurisdiction. I don't know that they can get them in.
No.
No.
The last time remember that project across the street? Where we went
No.
through the trees?
No.
It's bad.
Even
I know.
if we required it.
A homeowner.
And the one that's in this picture on the cover page of their plan isn't there anymore. So that would be the only opportunity for.
That corner tree is not there?
It's gone.
It's gone because the roots up with the whole sidewalk
Right,
became a safety hazard.
Would you agree to plant another street tree?
If
there?
the roots go down and not up where it like pulls the sidewalk up? Is that something possible?
We will talk to Mr.
Yeah, you can get in touch with Tom Kavinsky of the environmental shade tree.
Believe me,
You can
we have
try-
the same problem.
Yeah, I replaced all my sidewalks.
Yeah.
No, but there are certain trees that are now recommended.
Yes.
We agree to plant one.
So, one street tree on Summerfield will address that. And that's what I have.
Great.
Is that sufficient?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Are you gonna second?
I'm gonna second.
You second,
I will
but you have to say the blue house on the corner when you do it.
I second the blue house on the corner.
Okay, any discussion? Motion, none, hearing none. Marie, roll call.
Daniel Harris?
Yes.
Russell Lewis?
Yes.
Jill Potter?
Yes.
Jose Alcaraz?
Yes.
Vice Chair John Scully?
Yes.
And Chairman Christopher Avalone?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Blue house.
That's 2 for 2, Mr.
I was just gonna say.
I think this is a first.
I was gonna say, 2 applications in 90 minutes, sir.
That's unheard of.
You are doing very well. This has been a great night.
And I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion,
All in favor?
motion to adjourn?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn? Second? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Ayes have it, okay.
Happy 4.